A Florida man is arrested after throwing spaghetti at his wife. A Florida woman threatens to tase her entire family. After a wife pours out his rum, Florida man goes crazy on the Bible thumper. And a syringe-wielding Florida man was arrested for spraying mystery liquid on girls' butts at a Ross store. These are the weird stories for Friday. They're all from the state of Florida, because on Friday, we only do weird news from Florida. It's Florida Friday on Weird AF News. Let's go. Come on, you can do it. A Florida man was arrested for throwing spaghetti at his wife. It sounds to me like this was a sauce and battery. Guys, come on, that's a good one, right? A sauce and battery? Well, I'll tell you right now, this man's legal fees are going to cost him a pretty penny. Come on, I'm just throwing the puns right up top to get you into the story. These are good lead-ins, as they say. This is an Italian dinner turned violent, which I am anti-Italian dinners turning violent. This isn't the kind of violence you'd imagine when you're dealing with Tony Soprano, though. This is a Florida love story at the end of the day. We have a drunk Florida man behind bars because he launched a plate of spaghetti at his wife during a heated argument. I love how they use the phrase launched as though he put it on some sort of catapult. Although, I don't know. Let's keep reading. Maybe he catapulted a plate of spaghetti at his wife's head. That's pretty creative use of a catapult. But then again, it's a waste of spaghetti. And if it's good marinara, I hate to see that on the floor and on people's clothing. And maybe there was a spicy meatball involved. Let's keep reading. The Florida man who has been arrested for this drive-by noodling is named Marquel Royal. He's 40 years old. He was arrested after throwing a plate full of pasta at his wife of 9 years during a fiery debate. It was about his abuse of alcohol. So it's an important issue in the household, obviously, and something that his wife needs to bring up. You know, she should be able to bring up his alcohol abuse without getting a plate full of pasta catapulted at her eyebrows. Would you agree? Now, it doesn't indicate whether or not there was a sauce on the spaghetti. Let's keep reading and find out the details of all of this. Okay, it says, while he was intoxicated, the Florida man threw a bowl of spaghetti at the victim, causing the noodles to strike the front of her body on her stomach. The victim was covered in the spaghetti sauce. Or there was sauce involved. Sounds like it was a bit of marinara. I mean, it could have been a white sauce, an Alfredo. I'm okay with that. I think Alfredo's a little easier to get out of your clothing. It doesn't stain as badly as the red sauce would. And don't even get me started on a Diablo sauce because, that's not coming out. That added spice in there really bakes it into the clothing. Now, it says this guy, Florida man Royal, was charged for felony battery count due to his lengthy criminal record. The father of 3 was then jailed and ordered by a judge to be in no contact with the wife, whom he shares 3 children with. Oh, boy. This was not his first violent incident with his wife. Oh, let's find out what sort of other plates of food were involved in the incidents that he's had with his wife. Did he toss an overly heated s'mores at her? That would be terrible. You could do some damage with a hot s'mores. Did he launch a bowl of gabagool at her chin? That's not acceptable behavior. Perhaps he attacked her with one of those turkey legs that I saw at the Texas State Fair. I'm going to tell you right now, I've never seen such animalistic behavior than at the Texas State Fair. People walking around with giant turkey legs and munching on them as though it's a Slim Jim, as though it's a piece of beef jerky, just casually walking around chomping on a giant turkey leg. I was taking a leak next to a guy who was eating a turkey leg while he was using the urinal. There's people playing games, throwing darts and whatnot and shooting basketballs. One hand gripping a turkey leg. It was out of control. It looks like it would hurt to be struck with one of those. That's my point. The article then goes on an amusing track about how, unsurprisingly, this is not the first time there has been a violent spaghetti-related incident in the Sunshine State of Florida. In an unrelated case in April, a Florida man was arrested after throwing pasta covered in sauce at another driver during a bizarre road rage incident. Yeah, I covered that story. I also covered a story where a son attacked his mother with pasta. I can't remember if that was Florida or not, but it does seem to happen. For whatever reason, when people get together around the pasta, things can get heated. A Florida woman threatens to tase her entire family. A Florida woman faces assault with a deadly weapon after she created a domestic disturbance involving threats with a taser and a knife as well. Well, it is the holidays upcoming, and that can make family members very, very stressed as, they have to agree on Thanksgiving plans, and some people don't want to go to certain people's houses, and so you get a lot of domestic incidents this time of year. This woman apparently threatened her family with a taser and a knife. Okay, this was a double whammy threat here. She's doing the dual weaponry. It says here the Coral Springs, Florida Police Department responded to a residence following reports of a confrontation between family members that included some death threats. The woman was later identified as Cheryl Hyatt, age 61. The Florida woman became very upset when her daughter expressed a desire to leave and live with her father. I can't understand why the daughter would want to do that. Can you? Can you think of any reason why? Witnesses told the police the situation escalated a bit when the Florida woman, Mother Hyatt, allegedly retrieved a taser and a knife, pointing the taser at her daughter and her 90-year-old mother. She then asked the threatening question, "Who's first?" All right, who's first? Who's going to get my taser? Who's first? Wow, this is like her Terminator moment. Hasta la vista, baby. Or like the Dirty Harry one. What did Dirty Harry say? Go ahead and make my day. This is one of those. All right, for the sake of this story, I had to just Google the top famous tough guy lines in Hollywood film. And I found there's 50. I found an article that said 50 of them, but I'm only going to give you the top 5 here. Number 5 is from the movie Die Hard, where the Bruce Willis character says, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother." I can't say that word, but you know what it is. Now we have number 4 is from the movie The Godfather. The line is, "I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse." That was from Marlon Brando as Don Vito Corleone. Then number 3 is from the movie Scarface, Al Pacino playing the Cuban gangster Tony Montana. And you know the line, "Say hello to my little friend." And then, he introduces his little friend to his friends. Number 2 is from the movie Terminator. And it's not the one I said. It's "I'll be back," which is that's a good tough line. Number 1 is also a line from the movie Dirty Harry, but it's not the one I said. It's, "You got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?" Well, those were fun. And, okay, back to the article where we have our Florida woman having her own little Dirty Harry moment. It says here, after the Florida woman asked her family who's first for the, she's not really clear. Who's first for the taser or the knife, or are you doing them both at the same time? Hyatt. It says Hyatt, still armed, reportedly attempted to barricade the front door with a chair, preventing her family members from leaving. The daughter managed to escape through the garage. Can't you just remove the chair from the door? I mean, I know how you barricade a door with a chair. You just kind of lean it against the bottom of the doorknob, correct? But that's to keep people from coming in, right? Anyways, the daughter escaped through the garage while the grandmother later removed the barricade to exit through the front door. Exactly. It's a chair in front of the door. Even the grandmother can remove the barricade. That's not much of a barricade, Hyatt. Although when she's wielding a taser and a knife, maybe she's standing in front of the door, preventing them from doing this. This is all insane, domestic nonsense. Upon arrival on the scene, the police recovered a pink taser and a kitchen knife near Hyatt's wheelchair inside the residence. Okay, the woman was in a wheelchair the whole time? This woman in a wheelchair with a pink taser held her family hostage by putting a little chair in front of the door? What is going on here? This is so bizarre. Turns out there's some video evidence that was provided by one of the victims. I'm going to guess it's not the grandmother. It was probably the daughter. It shows the Florida woman Hyatt shouting, quote, "I have a taser. I have pepper spray. Who's first?" It's more like, "I have tasers. I have pepper sprays. Who's first?" While walking toward her daughter and her mother, The victim reportedly can be heard in the video pleading for someone to call 911. Someone call 911 and we'll remove the chair, please. If a SWAT team could come and remove the chair. All right, I'm done with this story. Guys, just be careful around your family around the holidays. You might want to bring a taser and some pepper spray to your Thanksgiving dinner just in case. A Florida husband is arrested after assaulting his wife after the Bible thumper threw out his rum. An enraged Florida man was arrested after his Bible thumper wife poured out his rum, apparently. This guy's name's Ronnie Wayne Footit. Ronnie Wayne loves his rum. He's like a pirate. Arr, don't you take away Ronald Wayne's rum if you know what's good for ye. He's 58 years old, of a place called Lake Panasoffkee. I've never heard of this place. I've been covering Florida news for a few years now. Never came across Lake Panasoffkee. Sounds like a lovely area. I almost thought it said Lake Panacoffee, and I was going to consider moving there. So we got Ronnie, the pirate, and his rum. He's facing a charge of battery following his arrest when he was taken into custody at his home. This was Wednesday. Ronnie was apparently upset with his wife, who poured his rum down the sink when she found him drinking at about 2 a.m. that morning. After she poured out the rum, he popped open a beer. So, it's hard to keep Ronnie from not having his tasty medicine at 2 a.m. By the way, this all happened in the village. Well, it's on the Villages news website. So is this the Villages? I thought the Villages was in Pinellas County. Maybe this place is in Pinellas County. I don't know. Do you guys know about the Villages? Oh, this is a famous place in Florida where just nonsense happens in this retirement community. All right, back to the love story here out of Florida. A struggle ensued after Ronnie popped open a beer. It says a struggle ensued over keys, an iPad, and a phone. The wife did not want Ronnie to drive due to his level of intoxication. She's like, "You will not take your pirate ship from here, sir." Ronnie stands 6 feet tall, weighs 300 pounds. Wow, it's hard to keep a man like that from getting behind the wheel, right? What are you going to do? Allegedly, he pushed his wife onto a bed. That's when she called 911. The deputies arrived on the scene. They found that Ronnie, the pirate, had bloodshot eyes. Arr, he was staggering and smelled of booze. He's a retired paramedic, and he claimed the woman had attacked him after he called her a Bible thumper for pouring out his rum. Now, are y'all familiar with the term Bible thumper? I believe it's an American phenomenon only. I looked it up. Here's the definition. It's a individual who's zealous about Christian fundamentalism and frequently quotes the Bible to persuade others to believe and join Christianity. It originated in the 1810s, and it is considered derogatory. So, that's not a nice thing to say to somebody. It's also not very nice to push somebody onto a bed either, especially if you're 300 pounds. But, considering this is Florida, there are some worse places to be pushed than onto a bed. It's pretty mild. He could have pushed her into a python nest. That would have been terrible. He could have pushed her into some gator teeth. He could have pushed her into a tweaker den. Or, what might be the worst thing to be pushed into in Florida, a Waffle House. A syringe-wielding Florida man was arrested for spraying mystery liquid on girls' butts at a Ross discount store. One of the greatest titles ever. Should I take it for another spin? A syringe-wielding Florida man arrested for spraying mystery liquid on girls' butts at a Ross discount store. How disrespectful to do this. Not just to women, but to Ross. Ross has been there for us for a long, long time. Those of us who can't afford to spend to pay full price for clothing, Ross has been there. And you're gonna defame the great name of Ross with your antics here. Also, it's not okay to do this with women. Obviously, you can't be spraying mystery liquid on girls' butts. But are we sure it's a mystery with this liquid? I think I kind of know what this liquid could be if it's going on girls' butts. But let's keep reading and find out about the shenanigans of one Florida man, Sean Uribe, age 35. Sean is facing multiple criminal charges after allegedly targeting women and girls in department stores all across Miami in a disturbing series of incidents involving a syringe and some unknown liquid. Authorities say the first incident began in June at a Ross Dress for Less store. According to police, Florida man Uribe approached a juvenile from behind and used a medical syringe to squirt an unknown liquid on her buttocks while recording this act on his cell phone. It was a very strange, I'm guessing, fetish because he recorded it. Other shoppers alerted the victim of what had happened to her, and Uribe fled before store employees could intervene. Surveillance footage captured the incident, showing a liquid stain on the girl's jean shorts. About 2 months later, a similar incident was reported at a Marshall's. Wow, this guy's just going to these discount clothing stores. What next? The TJ Maxx? Police say the suspect approached a woman from behind at Marshall's, sprayed an unknown liquid on her left buttocks, and appeared to be filming her as well. This is so bizarre. The suspect matched the description of the man from the Ross incident, including wearing the same Miami Dolphins baseball cap. The victim identified Uribe in a police photo lineup, and investigators began piecing the case together. Uribe was arrested finally this week, charged with multiple offenses, including felony battery on a child, 2 misdemeanor battery counts, and tampering with evidence. He's currently out on bond, blah, 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 blah. Police say Uribe attempted to hide the evidence. While in custody, he made a recorded call to his father, instructing him to retrieve and secure hard drives from the family home. How many videos does Uribe have of dumping a mystery liquid on the buttocks of women at amazing discount clothing stores such as Marshall's, Ross, and TJ Maxx? Well, guess what? Uribe's plan was foiled because the police intercepted the attempt to secure the hard drives, and they got the hard drives themselves in the exact location Uribe had described. A search of the home also uncovered syringes containing a viscous white liquid. They believe that this is linked to the crimes. Yeah, it's clearly linked to the crimes. You keep calling it a mysterious viscous white liquid. I think we know what that is. Although, why don't you get CSI on the case? But I'm pretty sure we know what that is, right? I mean, I'm not a trained CSI technician, but I'm pretty sure I know what that is. Hi, my friends. This is your trustworthy, handy-dandy host, Jonesy here. I just want to thank you guys for sending me Florida stories the past few days, helping me put together this Florida Friday episode. You might notice there's a different kind of quality about this because I don't have access to a very comfortable, soft closet to record. I'm in a bathroom, and so it might be a little echoey in here. Doing the best I can, though. I brought my recording equipment, which is very good, but a lot of the times the quality of recordings, audio recordings, are more so about the environment rather than the equipment. So we're doing the best we can here, as I am in Boston with my family. By the way, we show tonight at The Point on Hanover Street. For those of you who want to see me tonight, Friday, the 22nd of November, I'll be at The Point in Boston on Hanover Street. So come check me out. I want to give some thanks and praise to someone who bought me a coffee named Laura. Laura bought 5 coffees for me. Isn't that astounding? That's just great. Just how gratuitous of Laura. She bought me 5 coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com, where you can buy me coffee. It's right there on the home page. She wrote, "Enjoy your coffees. Don't drink all 5 in one day, Jonesy." Why not? Why? You can't tell me what to do with these coffees. Once you buy them for me, Laura, I'm so sorry. It's now my domain what I do with these coffees. She also sent me a very nice email too, which is lovely. I'll read a little bit of this. She wrote, "Hey Jonesy, I stumbled upon your podcast through Alexa when I was looking for more items to add to my morning flash briefing. You're in good company along with CNN, WTF, Just Happened Today, Word of the Day, Everyday Positivity, Science Facts, and some other ones I can't think of. You come on last, though, Jonesy. I'm not very good at waking up, so I have Alexa play it every morning to help get my ass in gear. The whole thing lasts for about 30 minutes, and I often sleep through most of it, and it's not until you come on and start singing weird crap that I become coherent. So thank you for that." That's good. It's nice to know that my singing of weird crap gets you going, wakes you up. She says here, "Have fun in Boston. Boston. You should get clam chowder instead of coffee. Forget about it." I love clam chowder, and you better believe I'll be getting some while I'm here. That's for sure. I always do the seafood thing when I come here because it has amazing seafood. Here's one of my favorite treats when I come here. Fried clams. I cannot get enough of the fried clams that we have here in Massachusetts. If you ever come visit, everybody talks about the clam chowder, the lobster rolls. Yeah. We all know about that. I'm telling you right now, fried clams, the baby neck fried clams, just unbelievable. I can't get enough of it. Anyways, big shout out to Laura. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Appreciate that. Very nice. Very, very lovely, lovely woman. If you guys want to support the show like lovely Laura, you go to weirdafnews.com where you can buy me coffee, and I might drink all the coffees in one go. So I'm just letting you know. There's probably not enough coffees you could buy me that I can't drink in one day. I mean, I could drink 30. It's not a problem. No, I'm just kidding. I can't drink 30. But also, I'm not going to guarantee. I can't guarantee I'm going to spend this on coffee. You know what I mean? I'm on vacation, sort of. So I might spend it on Guinness. It's the holidays after all. I might spend it on Guinness. Why wouldn't I? Party favors. Sure. I'm with family. I mean, I need to get loaded to deal with this. We have a phrase in Boston called cocked. And it means drunk. Yeah. So I'm gonna be pretty cocked when I'm here for a little bit, anyways. At least a couple of nights, I'd imagine. So that's where the money could go, buying me coffees. Anyways, you can also join the Patreon on there. And then what do you get with the Patreon? Oh, great question. Great question. Great. I'm glad you asked. You get access to bonus episodes of Weird AF News, which is pretty cool, right? I just put out a bonus episode last week. Super cool. You also get a copy of songs. Like I just wrote that. What's sure to be a hit, the No Models at the Buffet. So I uploaded that in the Patreon, so you can download that, make that your ringtone if you want, or bring it to a record company and get Jonesy a record deal. I mean, why wouldn't you do that for me? That would be appreciated. Okay, so lastly, I'll just say follow me on the gram at Funny Jones. I mean, that's where I put all my shows. So while I'm here, I'm performing some stand-up comedy shows. You can find out where I'm at with that. And if you want to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. All right. I hope you have a great weekend and good luck with your life, man.